Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
At SNWMN Multimedia or SIT Morning or both is how you can find us and find this show. Victor Locke, the droid, and yours truly, Snowman, here with you as we start the second half of Snowman in the Morning. And while I'm thinking about it, the second half of Snowman in the Morning is brought to you in part by BetUS.com. BetUS.com, where the game begins. All right.
Do we get our quarters out?
What?
Do we get our quarters out?
Not yet.
Ah, okay.
You know what? Screw it. I know Droid's been wanting to talk about this, and I got a few subjects myself that I want to.
Yes.
That I want to drop here.
Get your tokens, kids.
Get your tokens. Get your quarters. Get anything you deem necessary. Where is that doggone thing? I can't find it. See, I let Droid into the truck, and all this happened. All right. Get your quarters, get your tokens, get anything you need to play some games, because we're going to talk about it as we go into the arcade. On this edition of the arcade, Droid is back with us. I think he is. On this edition of the arcade, Droid has a subject that he wants to touch on concerning esports. The floor is yours, my friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you may not know, because a lot of y'all, you only pay attention to real sports and never about esports. But you got RLCS is finally back. The Birmingham Major is only 51 days away. That's in the Copper Box Arena in Birmingham, United Kingdom. The previous champions in North America was NRG. The previous champions of Karmine Corp was Karmine Corp for Europe, Oceania, Wildcard, South America, Furia, Asia Pacific, Luminosity. MENA was Falcons, and for SSA, Sub-Saharan Africa, is Maestros del Esférico. I know I butchered the heck out of that, but I don't care. The Sixth Invitational is going on right now as we're talking, actually. You can tune into that on the Rainbow Six Esports channels on YouTube and the Rainbow Six Siege Twitch channel, as I believe M80 just took down Team Joel, and Team Liquid's about to take on Unwanted, while over in Group C, Razad just took down PSG Talon, taking them to 0-2 in the group stage. Next up, I believe, is going to be DZ versus BDS, who has yet to play a game in the Sixth Invitational. Other news around esports, teams like G2 have folded in RLCS. The RLCS roster of Daniel, Beast Mode, and Atomic was picked up by NRG. That's why they are the champions. The ALGS, the Apex Legends Global Series, just finished up not too long ago, and the location was in Japan. It was the Japanese finals, and the winners of the finals goes to Go Next Esports. Congratulations to Go Next Esports for taking away the crown, and they had to win that final game in order to win it all. Alliance finished second, Team Falcons finished third, Shopify Rebellion finishing fourth, and Virtuous Pro finishing fifth, respectively, in the championship. A disappointing grand finals for Gaming Gladiators as they finished dead last. The eNASCAR series is about to kick off soon. You got Wyatt Tinsley going Orkless this year. You got Graham Bolin and Casey Kirkman joining Pioneers. And then over in Counter-Strike, the CS2 Major Championship winners, Team Spirit, consisting of Magix, Chopper, Zontix, Donk, Shiro, and Holly, the coach. And you got and this is after the Shanghai Major, a great major indeed. Right now, IEM is happening. Katowice is happening right now. FaZe is playing EF, and Sinners will be playing Alliance in the CCT-EU series. And unfortunately, that's all I can really cover because there's so much going on in esports. It's not, and I just noticed we lost our audience. Oh no.
You're fine. Keep going.
So, I mean, we move on to the League of Legends 2025 season. You got 6 divisions this year: the LCK, the LPL, the LEC, the LCP, and 2 divisions of LTA. You got the LTA North and the LTA South. You got multiple regional leagues across the world. I believe you got a Prime League for Austria, Germany. You got the LFL for France. You got Superliga for Spain, TCL for Turkey. Plenty of other leagues across Europe. In the Americas, you got the Challengers League. You got the College Championship. You got Liga Regional Norte. And then you got LCK Challengers and much, much more.
Oh, yeah. Esports has exploded, man. Colleges are forming esports teams now, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got a CRL. You also got college for. You also got college teams in League. I believe you also got college teams in Valorant, which is another one I want to talk about. China has finished up their VCT 2025 campaign. Edward Gaming are the champions of China's league. You got EMA Pacific, which is European, Middle East, and Asia. And then you got the Pacific that plays in 2 days, and the Americas plays their VCT International Kickoff in Los Angeles. That started on the 16th of January, and it ends on the 8th of February. Right now, the MVPs is Aspis from MI made in Brazil. You got Leaf from G2, and you got Adverso from Crew. Teams participating in the Americas VCT Challenge, the VCT Kickoff. You got 100 Thieves, Cloud9, Evil Geniuses, Furia Esports, Crew Esports, Leviathan, Loud, Made in Brazil, NRG, Sentinels, G2 Esports, and 2 Game Esports. On upcoming, Sentinels will take on G2 in the upper bracket final, and Made in Brazil will take on Crew in the lower bracket semifinal. The winner of the lower bracket semifinal will take on the loser of the upper bracket semifinals, whether it be G2 or it be Sentinels, for those who may be confused on how that works.
When did you get into esports, dude?
Years ago.
Years ago.
I don't even remember the first thing that got me into esports. I still don't have really much of an idea about. There's still many different places you could really think about, and a lot of places where you just wonder what am I doing, huh?
Right. Victor, what about you? What got you into esports?
Well, I don't really do gaming competitively, but I've been a game head all my life,
Yeah.
So only time I've really heard about esports is League of Legends competitions, Smite competitions, of course, the Call of Duty Championship, stuff like that. And just watching,
it's amazing to me that this has become so competitive.
Well, I'll put it this way: for those people who think that it's not a real sport because you're not doing anything, you gotta stand the mental capacity you have to be to go into ranked matches every single day.
Yeah,
it's like being in a sport. You have to still hone those motor skills, just like you do your layups in basketball. It's like you run your routes in football.
You have to master your controls. You got to hone your skills in esports also.
Yes. I mean, watch the Call of Duty Championships. Those guys train almost 24 hours a day.
Oh, wow. Wow.
It is insane what they have to do.
He is telling the truth.
It is insane. And there's a lot of money to be made, too.
That's crazy.
There's a lot of money to be made in those situations. Like,
Really?
oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you're getting a lot of sponsors, too. Like the teams that are in the COD championships, they have a lot of sponsors.
Ah. Like for travel and such?
For travel, for housing.
For housing? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Those guys, it's like, again, with any other sport, if you're good enough and you get put on one of those big top tier teams, man, the bread you get.
Yeah, and the CDL 2025 Major 2 qualifiers is going to be happening in a week. You got first matchups is all best of 5. You got LA Thieves taking on the Carolina Royal Ravens. You got Boston Breach taking on Vegas Falcons, and Atlanta FaZe, the Stage 1 major champions, taking on the Vancouver Surge. Also in
Vancouver Surge.
That's not even take consideration of the fighting games, because fighting games are also becoming big.
Fighting games, there's so many small tournaments within the majors.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can't even keep up with anymore.
Right. Like there's Street Fighter tournaments, there's Tekken tournaments.
I know there's Street Fighter tournaments because that all began in local arcades.
Yeah. And here, the crazy thing, the moment that everyone says changed gaming history forever was it was a fight between Chun-Li and Ryu. I forgot who it was. And Chun-Li has this ultra where she used the lightning kicks I want to say 16 different kicks, right?
Okay.
You will get hit by one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Ryu has a riposte or a block or a counter.
Yeah.
This dude countered every single kick.
Wow.
In that combo.
Wow. That's nuts.
I watched it. I'm like, there's no way.
And the winner of the Tekken World Tour 2024 was Rang Chu. Capcom Pro Tour. Don't even remember what happened to the end of that, but we do have a few World Tours coming up, including the Mortal Kombat Pro Competition in 2025, the DBFZ World Tour in 2024-25, and the SNK World Championship
for me. That started for me when I used to watch tournaments, quote unquote, in arcades.
Mm-hmm. I'll let you this know, man.
When you had a line of people waiting to challenge one guy.
I'll let you this know, man, because unfortunately, Droid wasn't born at this time. Where were you on Mortal Monday? When Mortal Kombat first released.
That would be 1992.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember, where was I on Mortal Monday? Where was I? You know where I was? I was in Fort City.
I was in Ridge.
Nice.
I was in Ridge. And when I tell you that the crowd around Aladdin's castle was so massive, because my mom went to the mall to just grab a couple things. She said, we'll go to the mall.
Right.
And her thing, she's like, we are not going anywhere near the food court, because that's the food court is Aladdin's castle. And
yes.
She knew if I went near Aladdin's castle, I was going to want to go into the arcade. Yes.
It was over.
So when they put in 2 cabinets for Mortal Kombat, because they knew it was going to be a big hit.
Oh, yeah.
Man, people were glued.
I bet. I was.
They were glued. I was like, ain't no way I can leave without playing at least a couple games. So mom kind of relented, gave me $10 and let me go play.
You know what? My when I was 21, I was staying with my parents. I would do stuff around the house, while I'm trying to find a job and everything. And there was this dish that was behind the couch.
Mm-hmm.
My dad pointed to it, and he said, "Go look in there." What? There was a $20 bill in there.
You knew where you were going.
He put his arm around me and he said, "Enjoy." I was out of that house faster than Tim Raines.
Gone. Would it take Halsted down to 79th and then take 79th all the way to Fort City?
Hauled ass.
All you could hear the V12 of Brian Snow.
Oh yeah,
Man.
I hauled ass,
Yeah.
and there was a line out the freaking door.
Yes. Yes, because it's really one of the first few games that really like glorified that this is gonna have blood, this is gonna have fatalities, there's gonna be a lot of violence in this game. This was not Street Fighter. This was like the more gritty version of Street Fighter.
There was blood. There was blood on
Yes.
Mortal Monday.
Yes.
Here's a crazy thing. I think 94 is when they released Mortal Kombat 2. I believe it was 94.
Yeah, it was 94.
Somebody in the chat confirm that for me, please. I want to say it was 94 when they released Mortal Kombat 2.
I'm gonna do a lot of research right now.
By that time, I had moved to North Carolina, and I'm on a mission, going to a store. I walk in said store. I look at the gaming cabinets. I see Zaxxon. I see Pac-Man. And then I see more.
Actually, 93.
93. Okay.
November 12th, 1993 was when Mortal Kombat 2 was released.
Well, by 94, I was in North Carolina.
Mhm.
And then I saw Mortal Kombat 2. There went half of that allowance.
Yeah. See, the thing is,
With Liu Kang.
two places that I think ate up so much money were movie theaters and arcades.
Yeah. It ain't of mine. I know that.
And I tell you this right now, one thing I really want to do, and I will definitely push my damnness to do within the next year or two,
And that is.
I'm going to find a drive-in movie theater, and I'm going to watch the movies.
Oh, God.
If I can find one. I remember someone telling me there was one like in the south side of Illinois, like by Hoffman, but I don't know.
Man, I cannot say how long. Well, it's been a long, long time since I've been to a drive-in movie theater. But you know what I saw the day I went?
Mm-hmm.
The day I went to the drive-in movie theater. I saw The Wiz. That's the arcade, folks. Have a good day.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Blow up the Chicago Bulls and start again, please.
Please.
Hey, wake up.
Droid? There you go. This is why I'm so glad I don't have a chair.
I
Yeah,
guess
because I can do this too.
This is why I'm glad I don't have a chair yet. I don't have a choice. I gotta sit up straight.
Because if you get a chair,
man,
He passed it out within 5 minutes.
literally
if he
4
gets
minutes
a
and
chair,
59 seconds.
It would just be like, oh, this is a really nice.
Yep, 4 minutes 59.
That's
seconds,
about what happened when I
actually.
got this chair.
Okay.
Wife brought it home.
Mhm.
I set it up here in the office, and before she could complete bringing everything in, I was out.
Right. All right. So last night we had two blockbuster NBA games that these two gentlemen called.
Most certainly did. And
First
Droid,
one,
for your first call, you were absolutely brilliant.
we have the New York Knicks and the Houston Rockets, and then we had the Orlando Magic taking on the Golden State Warriors. Sorry.
You know what my friend Kevin called the Warriors once upon a time?
Broken State.
Broken State.
I remember. All right.
I just remember him saying in studio when we were on the air, yeah, but they lost to Broken State last night, and I lost it.
So, what were your guys' thoughts on these four teams, I should say, and these two matchups?
Start with Droid. Your matchup last night: Rockets, Knicks from MSG. Of course, MSG was rocking the whole time.
Mhm.
The point that Droid wanted to bring home, and I'll give him the floor right now, was free throws.
Yeah. The shake of the head, like, no.
On the playmaker, I'm just gonna hide my face behind the mic.
You can't do that because we already know who you are.
Right. I mean, we've seen playmakers.
We've already
I'm gonna
seen,
get a pop filter, cover the rest of it.
Why won't you want to talk about last night's game that you called?
Because I didn't realize until after the game was over, until this morning, that my mic wasn't connected.
What?
I was calling the game through my laptop mic.
Oh, okay.
That explains a lot.
Doesn't matter. You still called one.
You still called the game. Doesn't matter.
Those are the things that you polish up as time progresses. Because I never thought I was going to call a football game until this past year. Never once I think, oh, I'm going to call a football game, and here I am calling the Cowboys versus the Panthers, or Green Bay versus Philadelphia.
Green Bay, Philadelphia. Every week is like, which game are you doing? Let's get to the NBA rumors because there's a couple I want to pounce on right now.
Okay, before we do that, Snowman.
Yes.
Your take on Warriors and Magic. We talked about last night about what they did right, what they could improve on. But to me, I think one of the big wake-up calls and one of the big surprises was the resurgence of Draymond Green.
Yeah, Draymond Green had a big effect on the game last night. He had a big effect on the game. And just his presence.
Yes, there it is. His presence. Green.
And you can tell whenever he went out, the Warriors got into a lull. When he came back, they sped the game up.
Mm-hmm. It's just crazy. I'm just like, man, he really shows that he can take the game over. He can show that he's another captain, especially now that Clay's gone. Yep. He's going to be the one that's to step in that role. And I think Steve Kerr's got to give him the ability to step in that role. But so long as he keeps his nose clean and he puts up performances like this, he's going to really be one of those front runners to really pull the Warriors into something special.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what I loved about the Warriors game last night. Even though they had so many empty possessions, and Victor, you and I pounced on that and talked about that the whole game last night.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many empty possessions for Golden State. So many empty possessions.
Right.
And yet they found ways to not only get back in the game, but win the damn thing.
Yes.
Hats off to Andrew Wiggins, who was one of our players of the game. He had 26 points last night.
Mm-hmm.
Steph Curry finished with 24. But there was a point in the third quarter, and Victor and I both said it almost simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
The first three that goes down for Steph Curry, the floodgates will open.
Right.
Wouldn't you know it, about 8 minutes left in the third, he bangs one home, and then the Warriors were off to the races.
Yeah, because really the Magic were really doing well at defending the perimeter.
Yeah, they were.
And once Draymond and Wiggins started, doing the backdoor cuts, it opened up the floor a little bit.
The middle opened.
Right. And it allowed Steph Curry to get really good looks at the basket and then finally letting them drop.
You know who needs to step up for Golden State? His name is Buddy Hield.
Mm-hmm.
They got him for a reason, to be the shooter that replaces Klay Thompson.
Right.
Now he has to act like it.
Right.
And I'm not saying he isn't, but I'm saying that the Warriors need to trust him more, like they did early in the season.
Right.
They have to trust him.
Yeah, that's gonna be the thing. Is they've got to actually trust him
Yep,
that he can make that shot. That's what you paid him for.
exactly.
You can't call him a bust if you don't give him opportunities to prove whether yay or nay
And
he's a bust or not.
since his season-ending injury a few years ago, it's been mostly nay with the
Mhm.
Warriors.
Yeah.
That they don't trust him,
Yeah.
especially now with this what happened between he and Jordan Poole,
Ooh boy.
which should never have happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which should never. Draymond just needed to apologize and go about his day.
Yeah.
Jordan Poole just needed to explain what's going on and go about his day.
They made it more of a circus than it needed to be.
Yeah.
More of a distraction needed to be.
Yep. That's what they did. That is what they did. All right. Final note before we get on out of here. Women's college basketball top 25. We'll go from 25 to 1. 25 is Oklahoma State. 24 is Vanderbilt. 23 is Alabama. 22 is Florida State. And 21 is California. 20 is Michigan State. Tennessee is at 19. West Virginia 18. Georgia Tech 17. Maryland 16. They dropped 2 spots. Oklahoma dropped 2 spots to number 15. North Carolina State up 3 spots to number 14. North Carolina up 2 spots to number 13, and they have a 21 season. Kansas State down a spot. They are 21-2, and they are sitting at 12 right now. Kentucky at 11 at 19-2. And here's your top 10. Duke is at 10 at 17-4. TCU at 9 at 21-2. Ohio State at 20-1, who plays UCLA tomorrow night. They're at 20-1. At 6 is LSU up a spot at 23-1. UConn's at 5 at 21-2, up a spot. Texas up a spot at number 4 with the record of 22-2, and 3 through 1. At 3 is Notre Dame, 2 is South Carolina, and number 1 is UCLA. Big game on when. Go ahead, Droid.
Huh?
I thought somebody was that Victor? Okay, go ahead, Victor.
No, I wasn't gonna say anything. I'm just like, wow, the resurgence of Notre Dame and collegiate sports is crazy.
You know,
the Fighting Irish football fighting for the championship this past year, and now you got women's basketball. They're at what, number 3?
They are number 3.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
that is crazy.
That is crazy. That is absolutely nuts. But I love it.
I do too. What are the trade rumors going about right now? We talked about the blinking you missed a blockbuster trade with Luka and AD. Are there any other trades going on before the deadline that are of note?
Not that I know of. There's a couple of rumors.
Okay.
That have KD reuniting with Steph Curry.
Oh, really?
That's the biggest rumor floating around right now. His name has been tossed out there for a possible reunion with Steph.
Okay. That's going to be crazy.
Yeah, that would be nuts.
Especially
that would be nuts, wouldn't it?
Especially if King Chicken Wang finds out he tried to get rid of AD and sent him to the Warriors.
You know what?
That'd be funny.
LeBron, the LeBron rumor that you brought up yesterday.
Yeah, him forced the trade to the Warriors.
That ain't happening. That's cap. That's
hard cap.
That is cap if I ever heard.
That is hard.
If I ever heard it. Okay, that's all cap.
To me, it's the reasoning of it. To me, the reasoning. They're like, it's not just because AD went. It's because he's so mad that AD left that he wasn't consulted about it. I'm like, do you think LeBron care that much?
No, LeBron doesn't care that much.
Especially for someone who kept getting hurt every single year.
Yep.
Like, he didn't care.
He really didn't.
The fact that he was so indignant, and that's why he's gonna force a trade because he's mad the Lakers are saying he does not care.
He doesn't care. He set the whole thing up.
And then they're also saying that if he goes, he's taking Bronny with him. First of all, I don't think that's his choice.
First of all, we don't really care.
I mean, we
about
don't.
Bronny. We give 2/5 of a half of a damn about Bronny. All right. Secondly, he's not going to force a trade to the Warriors. The Warriors are already set.
Yeah.
Play-by-play with JJ in the house with us. When we doing our interview, JJ, I'm going to have to reschedule it. LeBron is coming to Philly now. No, he's not.
That'd be funny. I would love to see that just on the
You know what? That would
media
be
circus
a train wreck.
alone.
That would be a train wreck and a half.
Just on the media circus alone, I'd love to see that.
That would be a train wreck and a half.
LeBron and Embiid on the same team.
You know what? Let me say this. LeBron is a team destroyer. Okay,
Team
we've
obliterator.
seen all kinds of evidence of it. LeBron in Philadelphia would seal their fate.
That'd be terrifying.
Matter of fact, I have time. We have time. JJ, get ready.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna open the chat. Let's do this. Let's open the chat line.
Okay.
Let's open the chat line and chat with the fans, shall we?
Sounds
We
like
did
a
this
plan to
once
me.
before, and it was very successful. So let's do it again.
Okay.
Let's do it again. JJ, the link's in the chat. Come on up. We're gonna drop. We're gonna I think that's one of the reasons I wanted to extend the show. I want to talk to the fans.
Yeah. Yeah.
One reason I extended the show. Joy, what are you researching?
I'm not sure.
Joy,
What?
what are you researching?
Nothing.
Oh, you were looking at the computer really hard.
Yeah. Uh-oh. That looks as he found something. What'd you find?
I didn't find anything.
You were looking like you found something important and it didn't make you happy a moment ago.
Maybe you found that the Bookers are projecting the Bruins to win the Stanley Cup this year.
Oh, dear Lord. They'd have to go through the Panthers first.
They would have to.
They would have to go to the Panthers first. All right, folks, please help me welcome Jason Joseph from Play by Play.
JJ.
JJ. What's up, JJ?
How's it going, brother man?
What is going on, guys? How you all doing? What's up?
We're good. We're good.
I like the hat.
Now,
Thanks.
I like the hat
This is-
too.
I got this one at NFL Films back when I was interning there in 2022.
Nice. Very
So-
nice.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Yeah. Let's talk. Let's talk shop.
Let's
What's
talk. All right,
What's
we
up?
got about 11 minutes remaining.
All right.
Want to give you the floor here. And I promised JJ that I'd bring him on the show and let him cut loose about the Sixers,
Mhm.
considering the season they're having. The floor is
Okay.
yours, sir.
A roller coaster of a season, to say the least.
Mhm.
First and foremost, Joel Embiid and Paul George are sitting on the sidelines, and yet this team is actually playing better without them, which is really funny when you really think about it.
I've seen it. I've seen it happen.
I never thought that this team could find ways to disappoint me, but even after they blew a 26-point lead to the Boston Celtics, they still find ways to disappoint me, Snowman. Oh, but JJ, they were missing Andre Drummond. They were missing Joel Embiid. They were missing Paul George. They had like over $300 million over on their bench.
Yep. Turn
Yes.
turn the volume up and do that again. There we go. I love it.
BS. I don't care who's on your team. This team was actually playing better without those guys,
Mhm.
and yet they still found a way to blow that lead, and I still can't forgive them for that. But ultimately, it is time to rebuild with Tyrese Maxey and with Jared McCain for next year. Those are the two guys that you're going to want to build around, and Daryl Morey needs to give it up. Now,
he needs to.
Now, hold up 1 second. Because this core has actually played better without Joel Embiid, that doesn't mean trade Gershon Yabusele unless you get a very, very, very good deal for him.
Right.
But I like this core that they have right now with Ricky Council and with Justin Edwards and with some of these other guys. So you're not getting rid of those players. You're getting rid of the Kyle Lowrys, the Reggie Jacksons, the Eric Gordons, the older guys, along with Paul George. And I think I'm ready to cut ties with Joel Embiid. I am.
Wow.
It's taken a lot for me to say that, but I'm there.
Yeah, because you've been a big defender of, especially when
I've been a huge defender.
When JJ has been on this show, we talked everything Joel Embiid, and I said what I said about Joel Embiid.
Paul George is a fraud, by the way.
Jason got mad at me.
Yes,
he got mad. He got mad at me. Of course, he did it playfully, but he got mad at me.
I will still defend that this organization never put the right pieces around Joel Embiid earlier in his career. Ben Simmons, James Harden, it wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to work. I will still defend that to this day.
Ben, however, Simmons.
However, when it comes to just getting in shape and when it comes to just all the injuries that he's had, I don't think it makes I believe that the reason why he's had all these injuries is because he's not taking care of his body properly.
Yeah.
And that's what I see as the problem with Luka Doncic. It's the same type of thing.
Please go there.
It's the same type of thing, man. You can have all the talent in the world, but yet if you don't take care of that body, you're not going to last that long. I know that you have been very critical of LeBron James, but the one thing that you can't criticize about LeBron is that he takes care of his body, and that is why he's lasted for so long. I can
criticize that by saying one thing. Now, this is not true, hasn't been proven to be true. I'm doing this to mess with JJ. I can criticize that by saying one thing. He's taking PEDs to support his body.
I knew you were going to go there. I knew exactly where you were going with that.
That's a conversation for a later time. Folks.
Yes, but regardless, he has stayed in shape, and he has found ways to put himself in a position to stay relevant.
Right.
So, but in regards to Joel Embiid, it's been a very disappointing season. All he did was he came back and he only played, because he played in the Olympics and he did it as a selfish move. He didn't even want to play for Africa. I would have given him a pass for that. He played for the United States because he cared about rings, cared about himself, cared about his legacy, and he did not put the team first. And no wonder why he hasn't been able to stay healthy. They say that it's a knee injury, and then they say, well, now it's a foot injury. And now it's something else. Now there's problems with his eyes. Now it's a problem with his foot again. And the reason why he's just not playing out there is because he doesn't know how to keep himself healthy. And yet, by the way, he's doing handstands during practices, and he's just sitting over on the sidelines next to Paul George. You know, they're just celebrating, and they're just watching this team. And yet they should feel so embarrassed that they're over on the sidelines watching this team blow a 26-point lead to Boston.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't feel happy about that. They should feel embarrassed. The organization should feel embarrassed because they gave Joel Embiid all that money for what?
To do nothing.
For what?
And Paul George, for that matter.
And Paul George as well.
George.
Now, the Golden State Warriors apparently are interested in trying to get a superstar and they're trying, and they have expressed interest in getting Paul George. I don't know why you would do it if you're Golden State, but I'll tell you what, Daryl Morey, I don't care if you get a bag of chips in that deal. You do it. You do it.
You're not gonna, and it's not gonna.
Stephen A. Smith talking about Eddie Curry.
All right, let me just. It's they did
trade him for the crumble cookies that you owe Tobias Harris to.
Yep. You know what?
My God.
They're not going to do that deal because they're interested in a couple of other players that'll actually contribute. Nikola Vucevic from Chicago, and Kevin Durant.
The Sixers should have never gotten rid of him too, by the way.
No,
No,
not at all.
Yep.
Yes.
So those are my thoughts about the Sixers.
Yep.
They're just a disgrace of a franchise. And Nick Nurse, I owe Nick Nurse an apology for one thing.
Why is that?
And that is that Nick Nurse, I understand, had a hard time with coaching Joel and with coaching Paul George because, again, they're superstars. But with the way that he has these guys coached, undermanned, they're outplaying a lot of people's expectations. Yeah. I still won't give him credit for for all the Kyle Lowry, Reggie Jackson minutes because that killed them in the last game. But I also understand, too, Daryl Morey got them, and they're on the team, and you got to give Maxey his rest, and there's only so much that you can do. I understand. But I do feel like that Nick Nurse has actually sort of deserved a little bit more praise than I've been giving him because how much can you really do with this roster when you just have a lot of premature babies?
You have a lot of prima donnas.
Yep.
A lot of prima donnas.
A lot of them.
It's like we were talking about before with Mr. Reasons. There's no tough love, culture in any of these teams, and NBA is.
I feel sorry for Tyrese Maxey
guilty of this
for having him deal with all this bull crap, with all this BS.
After his contract is up, I believe he's gone for that reason.
They extended him, but they're going to definitely need to build around him and McCain for next year. Those are the two guys. So,
all right, we are out of time. JJ, thanks for coming up. I appreciate you. We'll have you back later this week to talk Super Bowl, Chiefs and Eagles. Our Super Bowl coverage week continues. Thank you, JJ. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are. We hope y'all are too. So long, everybody. And like I said before, Joel Embiid, you a bitch.
Yep. Agreed.
See you tomorrow.